perfect way. You no longer exist, you're no longer in my
Welcome to AfterMat, your source for WWE PLE recaps. I am your host, the Secret Boss Cal. Alongside me, as always, I have my tag team partner, the EST, Delisha. What's going on, Delisha? Can she hear me? She's on mute.
The button disappeared.
And we're coming to you at a special time today because I know Delisha's busy tomorrow, so we want to get this covered before. I know she has a big week this week, so. But yeah, what'd you think, Delisha?
Yeah, I thought the card going in looked pretty solid. I mean, given everyone that was on it, so I was hoping to be looking for some pretty good to great matches.
Yeah, I think two of the matches were WrestleMania recap matches, I guess, with Jade Cargill and Rhea Ripley, and also with Brock and Obafemi. But other than that, was Gunther also? I'm not even sure. Was Gunther? I forgot who Cody fought at WrestleMania.
No, Cody fought Randy.
Oh, okay, Cody fought Randy. Okay, that's right. Yeah. Whatever happened with that? Or Randy's hurt, isn't he? You're also vertical. Your camera's weird right now.
Oh, shoot.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. It's not full screen, but I don't know what happened because you were full screen before. Now it's not full screen.
Way back?
You are vertical. Okay. Yeah. So let's go on with the first match. The first match was for the WWE Championship, featuring the WWE Champion Cody Rhodes against Gunther.
Yeah. It pretty much. I was gonna say I will have to apologize to people off the back because even though the PLE just happened, usually I'm able to like go back either like the next day and watch some highlights or or watch it again. So just know the recollection is not going to be as great. Not that it's great to begin with, but just know the whole recollection of the match is not going to be there for me. But we did have Gunther, who is like the powerhouse, who's looking to get the jump on Cody pretty early on. I think from the back, he said he wanted to retire him just like he did Cena and Goldberg. Who I forgot already.
Yeah, Cena, Goldberg, AJ Styles.
Oh yeah, AJ too. Yeah. So that was his mindset going into the match. Whereas Cody is still fighting, like I guess, the various challengers in his face back on SmackDown as well. With Gunther just being the latest in the lineup, and I feel like Gunther pretty much almost like sleeper after sleeper hold he kept trying to do, even like countering a few of not crossroads but Cody cutters in the meantime to get him into that sleeper hold, and a couple of times it seemed like he would get that in on Cody, but he would always find a way to maneuver out or duck under to where he could break the hold. Excuse me. The last part of the match kind of went by really quickly, at least for me, because I swear I blinked and I heard the bell ring. But I think Cody got him in a crossroads, but they were kind of near the rope, so when he went for the cover, I believe Gunther's either shoulder or leg might have been under the bottom rope, and he was trying to argue that as they were playing off Cody's music to get the win. So it seems like we are not done with the Cody Gunther of it all. They might run it back at the next event. I don't know, but we shall see. I actually thought that Gunther might get the jump here because I thought we might get a little interference from Sammy, who's also been getting in Cody's face, one of those others I've been mentioning. But I don't know, Cal. Did you think Gunther was gonna win this time, or did you know that they were gonna keep it on Cody? And did you? Well, I know you're not a big Cody fan, but match wise, did you think it was pretty good?
Actually, so like I didn't follow the story at all. I didn't know they were fighting. To be honest, I didn't know they were had a match until I looked at how many matches there were and like what to cover. And so I wasn't going to cover a Cody match most likely unless he's fighting like CM Punk, The Rock, or Roman Reigns. I wouldn't care to cover him. But yeah, I was surprised to see that this was even a match happening on the PLE. But for the most part, I've been complaining lately how like Cody matches are kind of boring and like he's got nothing going for him. And I've been saying that like as much as I used to like Gunther, he's getting boring on me too because he's only got like 5 moves that he does. This match was actually very good. Like I don't know what they did different in this match, but like the counters and reversals were like kind of added another extra layer to the match, which I don't think I remember them doing before. So I did enjoy this match because like when he went for the Cody cutter, but Gunther reversed it into the rear naked choke or sleeper hold, whatever you want to call it, and then he tried it again, and there's another reversal, and all these different reversals that we do see another match coming up soon. I think actually it might be the next match. There was a lot of reversals in that too, which made the match really fun to watch and cool to see. The one gripe I have on this match, besides Cody winning, obviously that's a known gripe, but the other gripe that the one major gripe I have, well, I guess Cody winning is a major gripe. The other gripe I have basically is the camera angle for Gunther. So his foot was under the bottom rope. So that's what was the whole thing, the point of dispute of Gunther. I kind of remember. I don't remember if Joe was around or Will is around. They could let us know the exact. At that time was called pay per view. The exact pay per view that had happened where Angle fought Austin, and Austin had Angle in his own finisher. He had Angle in an ankle lock, and Angle's arm was underneath the bottom rope grabbing the ring apron, and then he taps, and the referee counts the tap, but he's like, if you know the rules, if my arm is underneath the ring, even if I'm not grabbing a rope, if my arm's underneath the bottom ring, a bottom ring rope, and grabbing the apron, that means I'm outside the ring, therefore it should be a break. And that was a very good angle, because that Angle uses the next week on Raw, or the next night on Raw, or whatever it was, to show the referee and like the GM, whoever was at the GM at the time, saying like, "Hey, I deserve a rematch because look, my arm is clearly under the bottom rope." This time, when the match was live, there wasn't a good camera angle of Gunther's. I see what they're trying to do there. Even when Cody pulls Gunther's leg, you see him hit the bottom rope as he's pulling it in, and the referee didn't see it. So like I understand what they were trying to do, but it just wasn't a good camera angle, and I think Gunther will be able to use. They did have another camera angle after the fact, but I really just think they should have had a better camera angle to show that the foot thing, unless they want to try to make it as obvious. But I don't know. Other than that, it was a good match. I just think that was that botch of the camera. It wasn't even the two performers' faults. It was more the camera angle or production. It might not even been. I don't know if you can even bring the camera person because they're there. That guy, they had the other angle. It's probably the production truck that said go to camera 1 instead of camera 2 or whatever it was. Whoever it was, it was the fault of the person calling which camera should be shown. Unless that was part of the thing. If that was part of it to make it like less obvious, then okay, that makes sense. But if it wasn't part of it to make less obvious, then yeah, they should have went to a different camera. Other than that, the match was good, I believe. Anything else you to say about that match or no? Okay. So the next match was for the Women's WWE Championship, featuring the Women's WWE Champion Rhea Ripley against Jade Cargill, which is a rematch, our first rematch of WrestleMania.
Yeah, like you said, another callback for their Mania match. Jade wanting another chance at the title. And it's like, I feel like weeks leading in, it wasn't really about Jade and Rhea because you still had like Charlotte and Alexa mixed in with B-Fab and Michin. I mean, yeah, so I guess to battle like Jade's crew and all. But it kind of just felt it was always an amalgamation of those teams, those I guess those 6 women, I should say, throughout the last couple of weeks, and not a lot of one-on-one um, back and forth between Jade and Rhea, but that might have been by design since Jade is a little bit weaker on the mic than Rhea is at this juncture in their careers. But with Rhea being who she is, that's kind of like expected. But the match went off with Jade almost kind of getting the better of Rhea for the better part of this match, to where almost everything that Rhea threw at her, Jade would counter. We did mention that in our last match about counters in the first match. We got that here, which is kind of like a little bit level up from their Mania match, where I think it was more counters near the end, where this one you kind of had them throughout the match, where Rhea would go for a Riptide and Jade would counter that as like either wiggling out of it, or at one point I know she did it into a DDT, to where Jade was going for the I forget what her finishing move is called. What is it?
Jaden. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, she would go for that, and then Rhea would like duck under, try to go for a pin, or to duck under to get her for the Riptide, and then she would, or Jade would go for her big kick, or Rhea would move out the way. Excuse me. So pretty much we had our champion playing defense for most of the match until she would start to get the better of her. And then by that point, we would get Michin and BFAB coming out to where they will distract the ref or try to put Jade's leg on the bottom rope to, break the 3 count that was coming. Although that one that they did was done very sloppily. I don't know if the ref didn't get in the right position to where like they wouldn't be able to see them, but they could clearly see BFAB and Michin like right in front of them, and they did get thrown out, which was also kind of weird. I mean, it was to set up the next spot that they were about to do, but I just felt like if we take the knowing how wrestling works out of it, you were like, well, you just saw her touch Rhea's leg. Why are you not either accounting for interference or kicking him out like you would normally do? But it was a setup for Rhea to try to look like she's going to get revenge on BFAB and Michin, but she had backup of her own. Charlotte was there to take on BFAB and Michin and also do her own interference of putting Rhea's leg on the bottom rope for to interrupt a 3 count. And then Flair caused enough of a distraction, not actively distraction, but being on the ringside of Jade's hubris, I guess you could call it, for Rhea to get the Riptide onto her and pin her for the 3 count, retaining her title, which I guess, given everything that's going on, probably is the right move. I wouldn't have minded seeing Jade win, but given that Rhea just got the title, that wasn't gonna. I didn't think logistically that was gonna happen. But overall, I do think this was a really good match between the two. I do see Jade being. Maybe it's just depending on who she's in the ring with. Like with some people, they just have that better chemistry, or just knowing she doesn't have to worry about being stronger than her and like having to like pull her punches, so to speak. So maybe she's able to just go at Rhea a little bit more offensively, if I'm making any sense. But overall, I did enjoy the match. I still think their Mania match was better, but maybe it's because I had a lower expectation for Jade at that point. I don't know. But I did still enjoy this match. What about you? Did you like Jade's performance in this match? And do you think it was the right decision to have Rhea retain?
Yeah, so to answer your question of the second question first, yes, it was the right decision because when Jade was champion, she really didn't do anything, right? She was like champion and she didn't have any defenses until like WrestleMania, pretty much, right? She had like 1 defense from when she won until WrestleMania, something like that. Like if she even had one, so I thought like, yeah, there's no point in her being champion. I don't know if it's the writer's fault or her fault, but like just when she was champion, no one really cared, but she just wasn't there. I felt like she was just keeping on her shoulder warm for Naomi. That's what it felt like, right?
Yeah, no, I think
or
it
Bianca
was
or
more
Bianca
so that
Belair.
I think a lot of the participants that they would have go up against had gotten injured at that point or gotten released or in because I really do think the buildup was going to be for
Bianca.
Bianca, but she was still hurt from her finger and then got pregnant, so they were like, okay, flip that. So I do think it's partially much of they didn't give her anyone to really go up against. But sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, that could be it. But Other than that, yeah, I thought the match was very good. Like I said, I enjoy the counters a lot. Yeah, I do have two gripes for this match as well. One was definitely the botch, but I think that was I was about to say Jakara Jackson's fault. No, that's not her name. B-Fab's fault. B-Fab, like, she couldn't reach the leg. That's the problem. Like, she was like reaching and she couldn't grab it because I don't know if she's how tall she is or not, but she could not reach. What?
She's pretty tall.
Well, she couldn't reach Jade's leg or lift it. She didn't have enough strength, like, or torque, because she was putting her arm out, so she couldn't lift her leg. That was the issue. And then the referee had to see it because it was just so awkwardly done. Now, if you look a few moments later, Charlotte Flair did the same thing, and she did it seamlessly. Right? Charlotte Flair's a much seasoned veteran, but yeah, that was pretty bad. That botch was awful. That was really bad. And I don't know if they were supposed to be kicked out or Charlotte Flair was supposed to take them out of the match, but the referee had to do it because he saw, like you said, he caught her. The other gripe I have with the match is Rhea Ripley. So I don't know whose fault this is, right? Rhea Ripley's supposed to be a powerhouse, and she is. She really struggled to lift Jade Cargill on the Razor's Edge and for her finisher twice. So I don't know if that's Jade Cargill not shifting her weight properly and working with Rhea Ripley, or Rhea Ripley's just not strong enough to lift someone like Jade Cargill. I don't know what it is, but like, if Rhea Ripley's supposed to be the powerhouse that she is, it should have looked a lot more smooth than it did for the Razor's Edge, especially the Razor's Edge. That's the easier move to lift somebody. Then I know her finishers are a lot more difficult to lift somebody with. But the Razor's Edge should have been easier to lift, and she had trouble both times doing that.
I know which ones you're talking about, because those were the ones also that Jade countered out of too, right?
I don't know if she countered out. I mean, the first time, she countered out, but like, it just didn't look right.
Because I was going to say, with her countering, that would mean Jade also had to move with that momentum as well. So maybe that kind of also threw some things off. Because I feel like the last one she did okay.
No. She lifted her like this much off the ground and like just dropped her. Same thing with the Razor's Edge. That's why when she did the Razor's Edge, Michael called to be like, "Oh, there's a modified Razor's Edge," because it looked so bad. Like, it was just really bad. He like just picked it. It was like one of those like Kevin Nash jackknives that he drops them without like lifting them up all the way. That's like both times, like all 4 times she looked really bad.
She is a thick girl, so
yeah. But Rhea Ripley's supposed to be a powerhouse.
90% all muscle.
I know. I don't know. Those are the problems I had with the match. For people who are supposed to be powerhouses, because if we all talk about powerhouses, we can talk about the next match in the second. I know one's a man and the other one's a woman, but still within your weight class, or your whatever, or your gender, like, you should be, if you're that powerhouse of your gender, you should be able to lift anybody within your weight class.
Yeah. Because the thing is, like, we've seen her. Well, she struggled. I'm pretty sure. I think if I would have to go back and look, I'm pretty sure she struggled with Nia. But I feel like
she struggled. Yeah, but Nia's also a lot bigger than. But they might weigh the same. I don't know if they weigh the same. You gotta look that up.
So if she could do that to Nia, then she should be able to do that to Jade, no problem. But
no, but I think she only did to Nia when Nia's on the top rope, and then she'd use that as a thing. Like that, she only did to Nia when Nia was on top. She never cleanly picked her. And if she did cleanly pick her up, it was like 1 foot off the ground and then just dropping her. It wasn't like she didn't even get her over her waist. It would just be like a little like flip.
Rhea is strong, but she isn't the strongest one on the roster.
Right, but she's they portray her as that. That's the issue.
That's true.
I think Bianca Belair is probably the strongest woman in the division, but they portray Rhea Ripley as that.
I swear I've heard they say pound for pound, Bianca is the strongest one in the locker.
I know. I think I would say she is. She's like John Cena. She's the John Cena of the women's division. Because she's so strong. Remember, didn't she put someone on her shoulders and then walk up the ring steps into the ring? Was that Rhea? Or
no, that was Otis. That was Otis.
Oh, there you go. That's what I'm saying. Like, okay, there you go. All right. Anyway, yeah. So that's what that 2 gripes. Otherwise, it was a good match, and I agree with Rhea retaining. The next match was a grudge match. Oba Femi versus Brock Lesnar part 2 this time, because Oba Femi did defeat Brock Lesnar. Now, for the first time ever, and now you can thank the Italian fans if this does continue, Brock Lesnar's theme song was sang as he came to the ring. I wish Brock Lesnar kind of reacted to it. He didn't really react to it. But that would have been cool to see him react to it. So if that continues, you can thank the Italian fans for that. I don't know if it happened on SmackDown because SmackDown was in Spain, right? So it might have happened in SmackDown as well. I don't know if he was on. Oh, he's on Raw, isn't he? I have no idea what brand he's on.
Oh wait, I was like,
He's
wait,
on
I didn't
Raw.
finish my thoughts. I don't know. Oh, that's true.
And wait, Raw was where?
I don't think Brock was on Raw. I think it was Heyman that did the segment.
Oh, okay. Okay, there you go. Okay, yeah. So yeah, okay. So if it does happen, you could thank the Italian fans if it continues. And then Obafemi got a really loud ovation, and then doing the whoo every time it goes dun dun whoo like that. That was cool to see. And the fans continued after the song ended, which they do a lot of times for people they really are behind. But as they were announcing both heavyweights, it kind of made it feel like a heavyweight fight feel. As they were announcing Obafemi, Brock Lesnar attacked him from behind before the match could even start. That caused the referee to ring the bell. The match then begins. Brock Lesnar hits immediate 4 F5s on Obafemi. Obafemi kicks out of them. Then you hear Paul Heyman saying, "Go for the Kimura, go for the Kimura." So Brock puts Obafemi in the Kimura. Oba gets to the ropes. Brock has to let go. Then he puts another Kimura on him, on Obafemi. And now, if we want to talk about powerhouses, Obafemi had one arm working behind his back, getting worked on, and he had his other arm as he was laying on top of Brock Lesnar. He was able to get up and lift Brock Lesnar with one arm and slam him down to break the Kimura. That was amazing. That was awesome to see. Then Obafemi put in a few moves, and then he tried to go for his chokeslam, but Brock Lesnar countered that. This was a pretty bad counter because it was like one of those Rhea Ripley drops, like Brock got like one foot off the ground and then got chokeslammed, so they called it a counter. I thought it was pretty badly done as well. So that was a bad part of the match. But since that fake chokeslam happened, or counter as Michael Cole would say, Brock put him into a 5th F5. Obafemi rolls out of the ring. Brock goes after him. Oba's trying to like recover and try to chokeslam Brock Lesnar again through the what do you call it? The an after table, but Brock Lesnar counters it and does a 6 F5 through the announcer table, rolls back into the ring. The referee and the audience starts to count to 10. Now, normally you could count on the audience to let you know what count it is, but this is in a different language, and if you don't understand Italian or Spanish or anything that has very similar counting, you wouldn't have no idea. Well, I don't know in Africa if they take other languages, like foreign languages, like French, or because I know, right, Obafemi is from Africa, right? Like legitimately from Africa, right? He's from Uganda. So I don't know if in the school they teach them like French or Italian or German or whatever, or Spanish or whatever it is, like how we have in our schools. If he had no basis of knowing what the count was, he really had to hear the referee. But the referee, I couldn't hear the referee, so he had to watch for the hand signals because I couldn't hear. The crowd was so loud that you couldn't hear it. So thank God he got up at like 8. And he looked unfazed, and Brock Lesnar's eyes opened wide, like he was shocked. That was really cool reaction to see. Obafemi got in basically at 9.5. He started beating on Brock Lesnar. Finally got the choke slam, threw him into the corner. As Brock Lesnar came back, he went for his fall from grace, I think it's called, finisher. As Brock Lesnar was up there, Brock Lesnar was able to counter it and jump over Obafemi. And as Obafemi turned around, Brock Lesnar put him to a 7th F5, and then this time got the pin 1, 2, 3. Before I go to you, I was afraid that as soon as Brock Lesnar hit the 4 F5s before the bell even rang, kind of thing, I thought the match was going to end with Obafemi losing there. I'm glad that they drew out the match and made Obafemi look strong, and Brock Lesnar look strong as well. I thought it was very well done, and I agree with Brock Lesnar winning because I think if they're going to make it one more match, it might happen in Riyadh. But I think that Brock Lesnar's final match will be in Minnesota, maybe against Gunther, which would be kind of stupid. I think Obafemi should send him off as like a passing the torch. I think Brock Lesnar tried to do it at WrestleMania, but that upset the Saudis, that upset like a lot of people, investors, Triple H, and all that, so that they had to do the fake thing. And it's so funny because that Monday Night Raw is like, what if like Triple H actually gets Brock Lesnar to come back because like he didn't retire the right way that the WWE and TKO wanted him to. And right when I say that, and I walk into the room, Brock Lesnar's coming in, attacking Obafemi from behind. I just scream out loud like I can't believe I just predicted that. Like it's so funny. But yeah, I think that's how it's gonna play out. What do you think, Alicia?
Yeah, I was right there with you. I was like, "Oh man, please don't let this be like 3 F, I mean 4 F5s, and we're done with this." And I was just highly entertained for the rest of the way when I realized they weren't going to do that. And this might have been one of Brock's best produced matches, at least in my opinion. Well, I'm not the biggest Brock Lesnar fan, but I thoroughly enjoyed this match. And like I said, both of them look very strong. Was very written to be very strong, even in a loss like Olba, the way he was able to take all those moves. And it took a Herculean effort from Brock just to get the win. And I don't think he's ever had faced that much adversity in a match before, if I'm not correct. Like maybe the one against Kurt Angle, but I think that was more him being out technically wrestled rather than like pure strength, if I'm not mistaken. Because that's the only one that comes to mind at the moment of like where he faced a lot of adversity in a match. Um,
Well,
but
Goldberg
yeah.
made him look foolish. Like the Goldberg thing was kind of
Mhm.
foolish. When Goldberg beat him like in 3 seconds or whatever.
Oh well, yeah. Let's not talk about that
That
one.
that that was more like storyline wise rather than like the guy being as strong. Because damn, Obafemi picking him up with one arm was amazing. That was a great moment. And I gotta go back and watch it. When you watch it, let me know how the crowd pops for when Obafemi gets up from the second Kimura, lifting Brock Lesnar with one arm. Because they zoom up on Brock Lesnar's face, and you see the shock. I was like, it was very well done. Like I said, it was his best produced match. I agree with you. One of his, yeah. His Kurt Angle was
Yeah.
great too.
But I do agree that I think it should be the third match that Brock retires from. Don't let it be Gunther. Let Gunther stay on SmackDown and do his business down there. I think he needs it anyway. And because I don't want Gunther's like whole shtick right now to be like I retire people. No, you're the ring general who commands the ring and wins. We can make that periodically a thing that you do, but I don't think that should be his character right now. If
Right.
yeah.
All right. The next match was for the Women's Intercontinental Championship, featuring the Women's Intercontinental Champion Becky Lynch against Sol Ruka.
Okay. Am I still up?
Yep.
Okay. I wasn't sure, just to be sure, because sometimes it freezes on my end. So yeah, this was a rematch, not from Mania, but from Saturday night's main event, the last one. Yes, that was a couple weeks ago. Where for Soul to be going up against the man come back to town of Italy for Mania, and this I'm not really sure how to really go about this match. Well, I would say Soul was going to use her athleticism versus Becky being the veteran ring commander for this match. But we do have Becky being a lot, I guess. We were talking about hubris with Jade. We get that a lot in this match, but in a different way, with Becky being the veteran and being a 3-time IC champ with this current reign. And Soul being basically the rookie to the main roster, just coming in almost out of nowhere and getting this title shot. A couple of times, like Soul, I think, well, not a couple of times. I know once she went for the Soul Snatcher, but Becky caught her and got her in the Disarmer, which she didn't counter out of with, and then tried to roll into a STF. And then after, I think it was like a bunch of counters and stuff that was going in. But another like B plot storylines they've been doing for the last couple of months, I believe, was with the ref Jessica Carr. Kind of more like the like Becky like getting in her face, telling her like, do your job, the type of heel stuff that they do with the refs. But because this has been happening more and more and more, it just you get that feeling like there's like a B plot storyline bubbling underneath. I think we talked about that in our last PLE too. Because even the announcers were like commentating more about it. Because I think it was Corey who was saying that just to antagonize Becky, she would get in the way and get a soul snatcher or something like that. And I was like, oh, which made me like clue into like, yeah, they really are playing up this Jessica Carr like Becky angle to where it feels like it has to blow off to something. But I don't know if it was because she's doing so many like high athletic moves, or it could have been this is like a really big moment for her. So kind of like missed up a few moveset, the big one that come to mind is when she was doing, I don't know the technical words. I want to say like a back like somersault from the ring onto the outside onto Becky, and she was like maybe half a foot off, so where like Becky had to like step up in front to make sure Soul didn't hurt herself. And I think even Soul realized like that was she was ready because she saw like stop the ground. Like I think she was getting frustrated. She wasn't hitting the moves from the jump like she would normally did. Like she normally did kind of flawlessly in NXT, but even though they've done outside of Full Sail, outside of the Performance Center venues, this is still like a bigger crowd. So I don't know if, like I said, I don't know if like the lights were getting to her with this big moment. Um, but she would quickly brush it off and just get right back into the mat. So I did applaud her for that. And then she eventually would hit a soul snatcher on the Becky, which I think she did that right after arguing with Jessica again, to get the win for the 1-3 and become the new Intercontinental Champion. Which I do think this was the right idea given how much they were hyping her up. And if we are about to move on to, like I said, like a little B plot with Jessica, that don't need to be for a title. Because I know Jessica's been wrestling down at Evolve. One of them under like a mask. So the main audience does not know her as a wrestler. So if they're going to go do that, please go do that without a title being involved. And this really was like a coming out party for Soul. Like I said, she was really giving it her all with her athleticism. There were a few missteps, but like I said, I wasn't sure if that was for the bright lights or because her moves are so high and highly athletic that maybe it like one little bit of being off and it just throws things off. I'm not sure. But yeah, I thought it was a pretty good match, and it was a good blow off for this little mini feud that them two had over the last couple of weeks, from Saturday Night Main Event up until now, and it also frees Becky to move up back into the main title picture if they want to do that. But what about you? Do you think this was the right decision, or was it too soon for Soul to get the title?
I know that it's not only just the bright lights today. Like I know in Raw she had some issues. In Great American Bash she might have had some issues too. I know they've been complaining that the lack of house shows is what's causing like these young talent to like kind of have a lot more botches. To be honest, I fell asleep during this match, but what I saw, I didn't see any botches. So I'm guessing it happened when I fell asleep. So I had to go back and watch the match. But what I did see is I saw her do a moonsault from the top rope to the outside. I saw her do her soul snatcher. I saw everything else done really well. So I'm guessing it's a part where I fell asleep. I had to go back and watch it. But I did enjoy the match. Is it too soon for her? Yes and no. I feel like she does have rust. Maybe now she'll be able to work out more and do some more matches and get like that pressure put on her and see if she can handle that pressure. If not, then she take the belt off of her. But I really do think she does deserve it because she's been working hard all the way through NXT, and I think she's a great talent and is the future of this division alongside like Bianca Belair and them. So I really do agree with that. And see her fighting like Io and all these crazy cool matches we could see, I'm excited for that. I think she just fought Io. Didn't she just fight Io?
Yeah, that was her first match, I think.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, and that was a good match too, if I remember correctly. So, but like on the big stage, I think that was like a Raw or something. So I don't know what it was exactly, but yeah. Or was it Saturday main event? Whatever it was. I just want her, yeah, just have her more in the main event. Sorry, more on the PLE and stuff. I don't mind saying that. But what I did find weird is that like they show a lot of people in the audience like Max Dupree and Ethan Page and Lyra Regular. Like a lot of people they keep signing more people, but they're also like most of the people are not doing anything. There's only 5-match PLEs. I know it's gonna be different when SummerSlam comes, but with 5-match PLEs, a lot of people are not getting showcased. It's kind of odd. So I don't know what's gonna happen with this. I feel like it's too big of a roster, or not enough PLEs, or whatever it is. But something's got to change. I've been saying that forever. The brand split is the best part about it. They don't have a brand split. They kind of do, but brand split PLEs like where more SmackDown people. If you have a SmackDown only PLE, that would feature more SmackDown people from the top to bottom of the roster. Same thing with the other ones, and then just have the big four be combined, and you can make that 2 nights. All right, that brings us to the main event for the World Heavyweight Champion Roman Reigns. It was a tribal combat match for the World Heavyweight Championship, featuring the World Heavyweight Champion Roman Reigns against his cousin Jacob Fatu in a rematch from what was the rematch of? Whatever the last PLE was. Backlash? Maybe Backlash. Yeah, rematch of Backlash. Right away, the fans were right behind both members of the so-called bloodline. I don't know if it's still a bloodline, but they've kind of played to the crowd for a while. Immediately, Jacob went for a Tongan death grip, but Roman Reigns was able to counter that and go to the outside. Jacob follows him to the outside. They fight into the arena. They fight pretty much to the bleacher part of it or the steps, and they Roman hits Jacob's face onto the Jacob hits Roman's face onto the step railing, which causes Roman to go into the concession area and pick up an ice tray and hit Jacob with the ice tray, and then pick up some food and just throw it into the audience, much to like the vendors like dismay, and they didn't know what to do. They really looked like what the hell. So I'm guessing the WWE will have to pay for that. But it was funny. I laughed out loud. Eventually, they both got back into the ring. Before they got back into the ring, the fans were counting. I could see Roman mouth to Jacob, tease a table. And so like the fans asking for a table, because the fans were after the table, so he said tease a table. So Jacob goes, looks up the thing, and everyone goes crazy. But then he goes, nah. And everyone gets upset. And then Roman goes over, hits Jacob, and then goes over and picks up and takes out a table. And everyone goes crazy. He gets the table into the ring and sets it up in the corner. It took him very long to do that. That was kind of awkward. Then Jacob threw Roman into the steel stairs. Both of them got back into the ring and started fighting for a while. And then Jacob was thrown back outside of the ring. And when that happened, Roman picked up the steel stairs and threw it into Jacob. And that was a really hard hit, but Jacob got his hands up, but still looked really good. Then Jacob got back into the ring. Roman went for the spear, but Jacob hit a super kick and then put the Tongan death grip. Roman was able to get out of that by getting outside the ring. Jacob followed outside the ring, and then Roman hit him with a. Oh no! Jacob went for a dive outside the ring, and Roman hit him with a Superman punch. That was the second Superman punch he threw. Sorry, the first one he threw was when Jacob went for a pop up Samoan drop, but Roman countered that with his first Superman punch. This is the second Superman punch. That leveled Jacob on the outside. When Jacob was level on the outside, Roman grabbed a toolbox and hit it on Jacob's hand twice, injuring the hand that Jacob uses for the Tongan death grip. Then afterwards, Roman hit a spear through the barricade on the outside, and then dragged Jacob back into the ring, and Jacob kicked out and went for the pin, but Jacob kicked out. Then Roman took all the three of the four turnbuckles off from the corner. The only corner he didn't take it off of was from the corner that had the table in it. Roman then turned around to see Jacob Fatu standing up in his face and applying the Tongan death grip again, but the Tongan death grip wasn't as strong this time because his hand was injured due to the toolbox being hit earlier. Roman then hit Jacob's face into the exposed turnbuckle a few times and was about to do a spear, but Jacob speared him first. And then Jacob hit a moonsault, and then Jacob did the Samoan drop, and then hit his patented what do you call it, bounce up moonsault, whatever you call it. But Roman kicked out while hitting a low blow. Then Jacob hit the Tongan death grip again on Roman. Roman was able to get out of that and hit Jacob's head into the exposed turnbuckle several times. That caused a dazed Jacob Fatu to be stumble to the corner where the table was. Then Roman hit the spear through the table. And then Jacob he picked up Jacob one more time, or Jacob started getting up slowly, even though he got speared through the table. And Roman hit a super spear by bouncing off both ropes and then spearing Jacob one last time and going for the 1, 2, 3 and getting the pin this time around and remaining the World Heavyweight Champion. What do you think, Lucia?
Yeah, I did miss a portion of the beginning of the match due to like freezing and trying to get back here in time. But from all the stuff that I saw, I thought it was a really good match. I would have been interested in seeing what a Jacob win would look like. But I just kind of knew that Roman was probably going to get the pin here. And it looks like we're still not done also with Solo and the UFC because they showed up at the end. I don't remember if they were there the whole time or they just showed up at the end. But I did think this was a really good match between them. But it still will be interesting to see how they keep Jacob in line, so to speak. Because before we've only seen him with Solo, and we saw how that worked out. So let's see if what's a stronger leader to see how that goes. So it does still keep things interesting, but it will be interesting to see what a Jacob run could look like.
Yeah, so after the match, what Delicia's alluding to is Jimmy and Jay came out and put the Ulafala back on Roman and acknowledged him as a tribal chief. And they said, now you have to do the same come tomorrow on Raw. But they started bossing him around and matching, hey, let's go. Let's leave the ring. You got to follow Roman. When he leaves, you got to walk behind him. But as Jacob was, all of them were leaving the ring, I should say. You see Solo show up with MFT, which is now just Tamatanga and Talatanga, and Solo's kind of saying to Jacob, "I told you, man. I told you it's gonna happen to you, and you didn't listen to me." And so now you kind of see some dissension. You already had dissension with Jacob Fatu, but Jacob did say they did shake hands on Raw, saying like, whoever wins, the other person will succumb to as the other as a leader, or acknowledge the other person as a leader. So now that Jacob lost, let's see if he will follow the word for what he's going to say. But I'm sure Solo's going to have something to say about that as well. I wouldn't be surprised if Solo interrupts the acknowledgement ceremony on tomorrow night on Raw. So that's going to be fun to see. But I do like seeing the Bloodline story come alive again. Hopefully, it has another fresh take on it. Maybe we introduce like Zilla Fatu or somebody else. That'd be cool to see because he's been saying, "When's my time coming?" I don't follow him, but I've seen some tweets of his tweets and stuff. So like him saying like, when will I get my shot at the WWE? And I know Booker T is very high on him, so maybe Booker T will have something to say about getting him here. Maybe because I think he is what's his face's brother, right? Isn't he Jacob's brother or something? I don't know if that's what it is exactly, but
I don't know.
One of them too, though. Yeah. So
yeah,
the Bloodline, like I've been saying, the Bloodline storyline's been the best storyline in the longest time for the WWE. So if they need to refresh it and bring it back to get ticket sales and all that, and keep the fandom interested again, because I know they've been weeding and not liking how the stories have been going lately. If that's what they need to do, then let them do it. Hey, bring The Rock back because I love The Rock and you can have The Rock. It's gonna be good. All right, Alicia, I'm gonna go to you for our final thoughts. Your low point, your high point, or well grade.
Yeah, overall, I think this is a really good PLE. As I mean, we said it on multiple occasions that the international crowd, because they don't get as many PLEs as the US crowd, is always coming in full force. So that it's always pretty cool, even though they can be annoying sometimes, but it was some of the chants. But they really do become that extra hype man for the wrestlers. In a shocking surprise, I'm going to give my high points to Lesnar and Uba, which, if you know me and how I feel about Lesnar, is like a big thing for me to admit to. But I really did enjoy that match, and the low point, I think I might give it to Cody Gunther if I'm going to give it to something, mainly because I do feel like Cody could do without the belt. Like, he's so big, he doesn't really need it. And then with Gunther having it, could have been something a little more fresh on SmackDown. But it's not like a big, like, low point. Like, I still, like, enjoyed what they produced. And overall, I think I'm going to give the overall, like, A-. Like, I really enjoyed the matches they put forth, even though we had some missteps here and there. But like I said, overall, production-wise, like stories-wise, I think they just it was just a good mesh of what they gave us.
We're almost perfectly in lockstep here. For me, my low point was the Rhea Jade match, all the botches and like the slip ups and the Jade Rhea not being I love Rhea Ripley, but her being a powerhouse and not being able to like do certain moves, like that kind of made me like, what the hell's going on here? That like where whenever Michael Cole cover for you, like he did for Brock Lesnar and Obafemi for that one point and the other point, in the evening, I I think like that kind of takes away from the match in my opinion. So that's the low point. High point, just like you, Obafemi versus Brock Lesnar. That however long minute match was told a better story than a lot of stories I've been told. Probably all of Cody's storyline ever. And like a lot of other stories in the WWE, like that, like the literal like 8-minute match or whatever it was, told a better story than a lot of WWE stories that have been told recently. And then overall great. I was gonna give it an A, but then like it was supposed to be an A plus, but with all the botches and all that, it was gonna be an A. But now that you told me there's more botches in the Sol Luca match that I fell asleep during, I'm gonna have to give it an A minus, just like you. So A minus, which is a good PLE in my opinion. I think it's a great PLE. I haven't really given it an A minus in a while. I think the last A I gave out was probably SummerSlam of last year. But I think that was also the best PLE. Like I said, that was probably the best PLE last year for AfterMat season 9. Not only because I was there, but it was just a really overall like from top to bottom. Like I thought it would like drop like being a 2-night event and then you get like lulled out, but like all the matches are very solid. Just like all the matches are very solid this time around too. Even though there's a lot of talent that I don't really care for, it was very well done, and I thought it was a great match. All the matches put on very well, except for the botches. All right, good show. Where can we find you, or anything else?
You can find me trying to keep 2 toddlers alive. That's pretty much all I got going on right now. But if you would like to, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Talisha Renee. To where a lot of it is mostly just like retweets and quote tweets now, but maybe I might be able to get into some content creation sometime down the line. But at the moment, life is not letting me do so. But if you like, you can still follow me.
Yeah, and all her information down below, and don't forget to wish her a happy birthday coming Tuesday, I believe it is, right? So this Tuesday,
Yeah.
So make sure happy early birthday from us over here at AfterMat. But if you want to wish her on Twitter or anything, all her information down below. As for us here on AfterMat, unless they add another PLE, because I didn't think they were going to add Clash in Italy, like I wasn't sure about that. So I originally had Backlash going directly to SummerSlam, like wow, that's a whole summer of us not doing anything. But thankfully they added Clash in Italy, even though it was only a few weeks after Backlash. But the next PLE is in Saudi Arabia, which we don't usually cover. Unless it's like a really main PLE like a Royal Rumble or whatever it comes down to. But the next time you'll see us here on SummerSlam. But before we go, I just want to let you guys know one update on me. I know you guys have been following me for a while. Since the last PLE you guys saw me at, I was just a normal master, but now I've just become a doctor. I graduated right after Backlash, so I've got my PhD and now I'm a doctor. So that's new for me. So thank you for everyone who's followed us throughout the years, but I finally did it, and now I'll be a wiser, smarter jerk on the show, because don't forget, the secret boss is always right and you guys are all morons. Until next time, see y'all later.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll finding life along the way, melodies we haven't played. No, I don't want no rest, echoing around these walls, fighting to create a song. I don't wanna miss a beat. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays.